Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM train wreck. We're back for another top MLM fails. I have a few videos here, a few posts by No Shame Sales Game. It's been a hot minute since we talked about her. We also have our WFABB favorite girl who is no longer blonde. But before we go into it, don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you'd like to support me. And big shout out to all my channel members. I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, let's just put a little disclaimer in here and let's get into this video. Let's start with the first one.
I know you all been waiting for this, so before I begin, I've been part of network marketing for the past 2 years, and I used to be part of a company called igenius, a company that made me, a company that created me to who I am today. Little story, I decided to leave thinking it was going to be the best decision for me. I noticed it wasn't, so I'm here to tell you guys that my next move is I'm officially back at igenius, but this time I'm back with the best team. And the best leadership. And I'm gonna tell you guys, my goal here is to impact 100+ people's lives, and I'm very excited to take you guys on this journey with me. For those of you that don't know as well, I did hit a 6-figure income back in igenius, and this time I will do it again, and we're gonna go so far, especially with the team that we have now. Super excited.
So this girl was in igenius before, and apparently she was very successful, and then she decided to leave, but now she's back again and she is a part of WFABB. But WFABB has been a little bit rocky, I feel like. It's very curious as well that if you were so successful before and you earned 6 figures and you had a successful team, why did you leave in the first place? Why are you coming back just under a different team now? You lose credibility, you know? It's as if you quit your job and then you beg your boss 2 months later to take you back in a different department or something. First of all, no one would take you back in a legitimate business unless you had a very good reason in the first place why you're quitting. Why do you even need a better, different leadership if you were doing so great in the past? You wouldn't have left. Let's move on to the next one. This is a Zaya tippy top rep. So she says, POV, dreamed of being paid to wear activewear while being a stay-at-home mom. I mean, it's a very specific dream, isn't it? Okay, if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But the dream of being a stay-at-home mom and wearing activewear and getting paid to wear that activewear is a very specific dream that I feel like I have not heard people say that they're dreaming about it. But clearly her target audience here are stay-at-home moms, and you don't get paid to wear the activewear, okay? You get paid to sell, you get commissions on your sales, and you probably get incentives on your recruitments and team building and commissions off of your team's hard work as well. So you're not getting paid to wear the activewear, you're getting paid for everything else that you're doing in the biz. It's not as simple as that. If it was, there would be a lot more people and women and stay-at-home moms who would be getting great money just for getting paid to wear certain activewear. So that's just a bunch of BS. Let's read the next one. Fact: income is not keeping up with inflation. This means that consumers must either dip into their savings or borrow if they stand a chance of maintaining their lifestyle. Why wouldn't you add an additional stream of income to your already busy plate that you completely control when, what, where, and how much? If an extra $1,000 a month from your social media would be beneficial to your family, DM or comment video and I'll shoot over some info. And she said, I don't like being told what to do. No office politics or medical cards. I don't need someone else to decide how much my time and talent are worth. I decide what days and hours work best for my family. I believe this is an igenius post, and this is just insane. Like $1,000 per month. They don't even have an income disclosure statement yet. That's a very rich statement without any backup evidence for it. Cite your sources, as Erin and Julie like to say. Like, what are you talking about? Of course, $1,000 a month would be very beneficial to a lot of people out there, but you're not getting that in an MLM. And this is igenius. You need to invest $1,400 in the beginning, and if you want to use the AI to trade for you, you need another minimum of $1,000. So what are you talking about? Why investing is more right now more than ever. Saving will not make you rich. Investing is the only way to wealth. You're losing money right now with inflation, invisible tax. You can leverage experts and AI trading software to do it for you. You don't need to be educated, experienced to start. Okay, so they're not allowed to say that you don't need to do anything and the AI is going to make you rich. Also, if you're saving up to buy a real estate that you can then rent out and things like that, you can get rich by doing that, especially if you're young and if you started saving early enough. That's a very good thing to do, you know? You don't have to invest. There are other ways. Also, just like the previous one, she is targeting people who are in a really bad situation financially. So how do you expect, like, igenius is probably one of the worst MLMs to work in because it costs so much and you're already targeting people who have financial difficulties. We're in the middle of the inflation. We're also recovering from the pandemic still. You want these people to join you, but in order to join you, they have to pay at least $1,000 just for the membership, and then at least a minimum of another $1,000 to invest in the AI so that the AI can trade for them or whatever. That's crazy. That's minimum $2,000 that you would need just to start with igenius. I never understood why WFABB thought it was a good idea to go into a crypto MLM after being in a shampoo MLM. Like, it just didn't seem like a good idea. Maybe that's why a lot of them are leaving now. Next are a few posts from No Shame Sales Game, and she says 5 reasons why you're not as successful as you want to be. Here are some notes from a real talk sesh I had in DSGC recently. Are you guilty of any of these? You hold space for toxic people and environments. You go to such great lengths to accommodate other people, but you don't accommodate yourself. You cannot reach your goals if you're entertaining people who aren't 100% right for you. So this is probably referring to all the people that don't support your MLM biz. They're not right for you and you should cut them out of your life so that you can be successful in your biz, right? Which is toxic, terrible advice. Next one says, your mouth moves, but your feet don't. It literally does not matter what you say your goal is. If your feet are moving, you are lying to yourself. So you're not working hard enough. You don't invest in yourself or your business. You don't have to invest in a course community or mentor in order to succeed. But if you don't, the process will move at a snail's pace. So buy my DHGC, which costs $365 a year. You're playing business, not doing business. Tinkering with your IG bio, picking brand colors, or consuming personal development without taking action make you feel like you're working, but you're not. Talking to people, taking massive action, and creating content that connects you with your audience is what will move the needle. You're blocking yourself from alignment. I'm not allowed to say that word anymore and I have to blur it out because YouTube's gonna flag me. You can take all the courses and invest in all the coaching, but if you don't trust yourself and take action, you'll never be truly aligned and sustainable success won't happen. This is kind of the same thing as you're talking but you're not moving your feet. It's kind of the exact same advice that she already gave before, but what else is new, right? Her advice, in my opinion, is always trash and useless. I have never heard her say any actually useful advice for these MLM reps. I don't know, maybe that's just me. If you've ever heard her give any good advice, please let me know down below. Let's watch one of her training videos. So this was called "This One Exercise Has Changed My Entire Life."
Talk about one tip that has changed how I make money, how I have made crazy shit happen. And I was just talking about it on office hours with in DSGC, and it wasn't part of the conversation that was planned. So I was like, I'm gonna get on here and talk to my No Shame Sales Game friends about it. So quick and whatever. Heartbeat, you guys. People are like, you're the Harvey behind No Shame Sales Game. Heartbeat. Okay, so something that I've done for several years now, whether it's at the end of the year or I have a goal that I'm working toward, or whatever. This is what I do, and I didn't come up with this. It's not my idea. It's just something that works for me, and I did it last night as we head into 2023, and I tell you, like, this has changed my life. So what you do is you're just projecting and pretending as if things have already happened. So I sat in that chair last night and wrote 4 pages of a wrap up of 2023. So 2023, what happened? What did I accomplish? How do I, and the most important is, how do you feel about things? So how do you I feel so aligned. I feel so proud. I feel, whatever. Talk about, I manifested, and this is something I was showing DSGC, hold on, like every year. I do this in November as well. On 11/11, I write things that are going to come to fruition. And when I tell you that I recently read through all 4 years of this, and it's all happened, or better than what I had written down.
Oh, who would have thought the best advice that she can give you to be successful is just to manifest. That's it. It's that easy. I don't know why I thought her advice would be a little bit different or useful in this video, just because the title was so dramatic. But listen, you can manifest all you want. Some things are just not gonna happen. I feel like manifestation can be a good thing. I was trying to practice it for a while, a few years ago. It just didn't work well for me. Like, nothing really happened. Oh, I must have doing it wrong, right? But I just didn't align with it. If you do it, it's okay. I feel like it's a good way to kind of figure out what your goals are and to stay focused on the things that you want to achieve for yourself. But it can also be a very slippery slope, because if you're trying to manifest something wild and something that's not realistic and achievable for you, that can be very toxic. And let's say you manifest a shit ton of things for the year of 2023, and it's just all unrealistic for you, right? And then here comes the end of 2023 and you didn't really achieve any of the things that you wanted to, and you were trying to manifest throughout the whole year. It can get you in a very bad headspace, right? You can feel useless. You can feel like you didn't try enough. If you're in an MLM, you're probably going to be convinced that it's because you didn't work hard enough and you're a failure. Things like that. It's the same as with personal development. I feel like manifestation can be a good thing if it's done reasonably and realistically, but it can also be weaponized, and often it is weaponized by the MLM and coaches like herself against the people. But yeah, let's just keep going.
Manifested this office. I wrote about not just like, oh, I have my own office. It's, I have a big white comfy chair that I can sit in. I have natural light. It's airy and, natural whatever, and green and plants and all the things, and I feel so at peace and so comfortable, and so and this is where I make magic happen for my business. I wrote that when I was doing interviews for podcasts in my closet that was this big and had no light. It was when I could only do lives in my car because I lived in a house that was the size of a matchbook, and I had 3 children and no space to call my own. I did this before I started DSGC and all the things. So I want you guys, as we head into 2023, it doesn't like I said, it doesn't always have to be end of year, but I think this is a great time to do it. Talk as if you are wrapping up next year. So what does your life look like? What does it feel like? What kind of people are you surrounded by? What kind of people are on your team now? Who are you friends with? What does it feel like to be in the organization that you've created? So maybe we're talking about team building. Maybe you've hit that goal and you've earned your first incentive trip. What does it feel like to be on the plane over there? Or when you step out into, off the balcony of your free room that the company has put you on, or, in. Maybe, you've made your first 5-10K month, and what does that feel like? What does that do for you? What are you able to do with it?
All toxic, because how many people in any MLM across all network marketing companies actually get to the point where they're actually getting the free trips that are usually not free at all, not fully paid for anyway? How many of them earn 5-digit income a month? That's what I'm saying. It's very easy to get very unrealistic with your goals, and you feel like, oh well, I have a whole year and I just started my business a few months ago. Surely by the end of the year, if I work hard, like she said, I'm gonna have my 5-figure income by the end of this year. And it seems reasonable to people that just join MLMs But just because they haven't seen the income disclosure statement, usually they're pulled away from the actual data and statistics, which clearly shows it will not happen for 99% of people that join. And all network marketing companies, this is not about even a specific company out there, they're all equally as bad. Their income disclosure statements are all terrible. So, like I said, weaponizing manifestation, it can be very toxic then when you get to the end of the year and you realize you didn't achieve anything you wanted to achieve. Of course, you're going to blame yourself and you're going to find things that you can determine you did wrong and it's your own fault. It's not the business model, it is you. And you are also going to have uplines and coaches like her who are going to shift that blame on you. It's your fault and you need to try better next year because it's not the business model. This business model is so great. Like, it's you, it's not the business.
It's not just, oh, I made $1 million. One of the things before I made $1 million, before I made $100,000, was that I wanted so badly to do one of those like fill the backpack type things. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen them where you are, but like as we head into new school year, sometimes Target or places like that will have something where you can buy a backpack and they have like a list of school supplies that they give to, you know, children in need who can't afford the new school year stuff. And I remember a couple years ago, I went in to Target and I wanted to do this. And I was like, yes. I got the list, and I picked a backpack and I started getting all the stuff together. And like halfway through, I was like, I can't afford to do this. This is going to end up being $75. I don't have $75 that I can, I was so devastated and so disheartened because all I wanted to do was to like do something kind for somebody else and I couldn't afford to do it. And so one of the first times I did this manifestation was I got to go and fill 3 backpacks. And just how great that felt. And it wasn't, you know, I got the 3 backpacks and it was the cheapest backpack and the name or the Target brand pencils. I was the best of everything. And I got to give extra and it felt so good. That year I got to do that. But then we also got to like sponsor a family. We got to buy the entire Christmas list for a family with 2 children. Bikes, toys, diapers.
I feel very weird when people say things like that in public. I feel like, do you really have to tell everyone, look, I did this, I'm such a kind person? You know, why can't you just do something kind without using that kindness to promote your MLM biz and your coaching biz on Instagram? You know what I mean? It just rubs me the wrong way. It's great that she did all of these things. She bought 3 backpacks. She helped sponsor a family. It's all good, but I really feel like, you know, why do you need to brag about being kind? You should just be kind and do nice things for people in need whenever you can. What's the point in bragging about it? It's almost like, oh, look at me, I'm such a good person. So her doing good deeds based on scamming others, it's a very weird concept that we have here. But yeah, of course, when I say scamming, that's all in my own personal opinion. But you let me know down below what you think about this.
There's everything. And all I want to do is fill a backpack. So writing it down and talking about how good you feel, whether it's professionally, whether it's personally, people that, like I said, I think the people that surround you it's one of the main things that I always talk about when I'm writing this to myself. The people that I'm surrounded with is huge for me. So I hope that over today, the next day, whatever, you take some time, maybe after your kids go to bed or after work is done, instead of watching TV, you know, take half an hour and really get like crystal clear. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to know exactly what to make it effective, you know. And I also, every time I do this, I write, and I'm so glad that I left room for miracles and abundance from the universe. So whether it's God, the universe, source energy, whatever the language is for you, because whatever you want, whatever you think you want can be delivered so much more, so much bigger. The things that have happened to me over the past couple of years, I could have never imagined. They've come true and better with things that I've written down. So I encourage you. It sounds woo because it is woo. It might feel weird and uncomfortable. Even last night, I've been doing this for a while now, and I went to put a revenue goal, and I was waffling between, I had this first number is big, and then I was like, well, no, let's just do a smaller number. Like that's more realistic. And I was having this argument with this back and forth with myself for several minutes, and I was like, fuck it, put the bigger number. Like, there's no room for selling yourself short in this kind of exercise. So the biggest, grandest, most abundant.
Okay, being realistic is not selling yourself short. That's exactly what I said in the beginning. If you put the bigger goal, you're going to be more disappointed at the end of the year when you don't reach it and when you're nowhere near reaching that bigger goal. It doesn't happen for 99% of people in multi-level marketing, so it's very toxic advice. What's worse than useless advice is toxic advice like this one.
Things that you can think of, write them down. It will change. It's made me so much money. It's manifested so many things in my life that I could not afford, could not have, didn't think existed, down from the perfect nanny and babysitter that we needed at a certain time. I could never afford somebody to clean my house. What? And now I have that. Down to the types of things that my kids are involved in. I'm telling you, do it. Save it. You can type it out. I always write it handwritten. Take it out. You can put it in an envelope in your desk. The point is not to read it every day. It's just you're kind of writing this letter to the universe, God, whatever, and you're putting it out there. And then I just sign off with, and so it is. And so it is. And then I go and live my life and work and do the things that I need to do. And it's amazing the things that start falling into place and coming out of left field and synchronicities and opportunities. Do it. And then if you do it and things start happening, I would love to hear from you, because this type of stuff, this is my real life personality. I just love this kind of stuff. So
well, that was some woo-woo shit, wasn't it? Like I said earlier, I don't think there's anything wrong in manifestation and things like that. If you're more on the spiritual side, that wouldn't be personally my thing. I tried it and it just didn't feel good. It didn't really do anything for me, but there's nothing wrong if it does wonders for you. However, I do believe that you can't really manifest whatever you want, While you're manifesting things, you should still keep it realistic. It's okay to dream about big things and, what if, or what would be if this happened. It's okay to have those dreams and imagining things like that, but when it comes to manifesting it and setting your goals, I feel like it's very, very important that those goals are realistic so that you can avoid being disappointed if you don't hit those goals. So this was not useless, but it was toxic in my opinion. Very toxic advice, because she said, write down the biggest goals that you have. Don't sell yourself short. You're not selling yourself short by staying realistic. But yeah, let me know down below what you think about this. Let me know down below if you are manifesting, if that's your thing. Let me know. Does it work for you? How does it make you feel? And yeah, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. You are a trooper and I appreciate you. Big shout out to all of my channel members, and don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you like to support me in a free way, of course. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.